Hello everyone, Tiaan here, and welcome to my next video of the series about Project 1999. So I finally managed to get enough time just to sit down, record a video, and to talk about it as well. As you can see, we are in the Overthere, and this was actually one of my first ventures into Kunark, since I really didn't do much leveling in Kunark on my enchanter. It's definitely been a place that I've wanted to come and visit and to hunt in for quite a while now, so I'm pretty excited that I was able just to come out here. I didn't really do much research about this zone ahead of time, and I probably should have, because when Carrot Cake and I first got off of the boat, we clearly saw that there were those undead sailors, and we were able to con those, and we realized, okay, those are red and they are ready to kill us on sight, so we avoided those well enough, but we sort of overlooked the guards and those clay guardians specifically. So as you can imagine, that ended up in having to run back another time and to basically take another boat trip back to Kunark. But alas, after that we learned our lesson, we learned from our mistakes, which is the point of making mistakes, I guess. And as you can see, we are currently killing a redcon rhino. This is kind of important because I sort of learned just over hunting here that the level range of these rhinos specifically seems to vary quite a bit. So even though this is a redcon, it seems to be going pretty well for us. So another thing that I learned in this zone is that not everything that would appear to be an animal is actually considered to be an animal. A great example of this would be those chickens, or I guess the stone peckers or the stone gazers. Those are not considered animals, and I could have sworn that they were. This is also the case for spiders, I've noticed. Spiders are not considered animals, and this is something that I would have never known unless I was a druid. And the fact that not everything out here is an animal really sort of shifts the dynamic of our duo a little bit. We sort of had to shift tactics, and you are going to see that a little bit later on in the video, but at the moment I'm actually chasing down this redcon rhino. And I didn't notice this at the time, but it seems like this rhino is slightly larger in size than the previous rhinos. And I guess that this makes sense now, because this one was quite tough. As you can see, it just resisted snare, which is not a great start, so I'm going to try to gain a little bit of distance and try to cast snare again. But what I also didn't realize is that these things are fast, and it managed to catch up to me. Snare got resisted again, and it gored me for 78 damage, which is, I believe, the hardest that I've ever been hit on this character, at least. So it is completely pissed off at me. It's just chasing me down. I have Spirit of Wolf too, and it's like almost catching up to me. I'm just running for my life at this point. So over Skype I was basically asking Carrot Cake to do anything possible just to get it off of me as soon as possible, because I was in fear of death at this point. And it actually manages to catch up to me, and it stuns me. Luckily, one of the pets manages to get it off me, and so I try to snare it again, doesn't work, and you can clearly see how the size difference is now between my pet rhino, which is a blue con, compared to that larger rhino, and it completely just destroyed my rhino pet, and again, snare is being resisted. We're trying to do everything possible to sort of keep up the mage pet, and that's not really going well either. Fear is resisted, and that was actually my lower level fear spell, so I get this brilliant idea just to try to use my higher level one, but before I can even get it up, unfortunately the mage pet dies, and at this point we just decide to just run for the zone. So we ended up having to zone this rhino. Luckily none of us died, but it was definitely a learning experience for us. So this is actually one of the newer tactics that we've been sort of employing in this zone, where I will root one of the mobs, and then I'll nuke another mob, with the goal where once the root breaks, the first mob that was pulled with a simple nuke will be either close to dead or dead at that point, and this really helps keeps the mobs coming. So one of the questions that we've been getting asked a little bit is, why does that we decided to play on blue instead of on red? And this is something that I also considered, and the main reason for it was that, especially since it's Carrot Cake's first time playing, and since I haven't really progressed far in terms of what I've done on blue, I really wanted to get the best overall classic-esque like experience as I could for both myself and for Carrot Cake, and I just felt that blue would probably be the best place for that. So in this footage, Carrot Cake and I are both level 21, and we've both been really enjoying this zone. One of the things that we really try to do is try to mix it up. So we'll do like a level or two in a single zone, and then even if there's still really good hunting areas inside of that same zone, we'll try to mix it up and just try to find a different zone just to keep things fresh, I guess. And you can see there's that tiger that I rooted initially. It's coming. It's chasing me down, coming for its death, just in time. This tactic has really been working well, and this is one of the things that I actually really enjoy about EverQuest. Each zone has its own little quirks and niches to where you really can't always apply the same strategy to each zone. So as an example, back in the Karanas, I could literally just pull as much as I wanted with snare and then just fear it up until we were ready to kill it. But here, since most things really aren't animals, since there's a Sarnax, there's the cacti, and the non-animal chickens, we basically have to change strategy. So overall, we spent about 2.5 hours in the zone, basically killing everything that we could, and we did manage to get to level 22 at the end. Now, I know that we could theoretically stay inside of this zone up until around level 35, possibly even higher even, but I don't think that that'll be a really viable option for us since, like I said earlier, we really try to keep things fresh. If anyone out there knows of any great zones for this type of level or for this type of duo that Carrot Cake and I should really go check out, then please just let us know, because that's something that I'm always looking for. So another thing that I was really working on for this video was really playing around with both the audio as well as the video quality, since I wasn't entirely happy with the quality of my first video. So I really hope that the quality of this video is much better than the first one, at least in terms of both audio as well as video. I also really love these Kunark Rhino models. I just think that it's such a, I guess, dramatic change from the typical classic EverQuest model. I don't know what it is. I just really enjoy them. It's sort of like it's extremely textured inside the face, but then the rest of the body is just sort of like a gray blob, which I just think is just great. So I'm sort of looking out in the distance because my root broke, and I'm sort of seeing to see if that chicken will sort of aggro a chicken friend. And luckily my charm breaks at the same time, and it does aggro another chicken. So it's kind of funny. I've actually noticed this in EverQuest where things seem to go wrong all at once, and what I mean by this is that whenever your root breaks, your fear is going to break at the same time, and then your charm will break, and then a mob will resist, and then you'll aggro another mob, and then you will get stunned, and it all happens together. I don't know if this is really an intended part of the game or just me sort of remembering the worst situations, but it's just something that I've definitely noticed, and I don't know if anyone else has really experienced that. So as you can see, I am trying to use hide here to break my pet's charm, and thanks a lot to those people in my first video that really clarified how hide works. I guess that it would be really strong if it worked every single time. So I guess it all makes sense now. So thanks for watching this video, and until next time, have fun.